You sense the ancient dust stirring after eons of silence. It does not drift like common sand. This particulate matter moves with intent. You stand on the edge of the mining colony. The air recycling units hum a low and steady rhythm behind you. But the dust ignores the wind. It swirls around your boots in patterns that defy physics. You kneel to inspect the gray grains. They pulse with a faint and rhythmic blue light. It feels like the ground is trying to breathe. Experts think this planet was dead for 1,000,000 years. They were wrong. The soil remembers something. You brush a glove across the surface. A sudden warmth floods through your fingertips. It is not heat. It is data. Images flash behind your eyes, too fast to catch. You see a banner of gold. You see ships that block out the sun. You see a war that burned the sky. Then it stops. The silence returns. But now you know the truth. This is not a graveyard. It is a waiting room. And the waiting is over. You look toward the horizon, where the suns are setting. A glint catches your eye. It is brighter than the surrounding quartz. You walk toward it. The dust parts to let you pass. It feels like the planet is ushering you forward. You reach the object. It is a shard of metal. It looks like it was torn from a hull. You pick it up. The weight is surprising. It feels light but dense. It vibrates against your palm. A sound fills your helmet. It is not static. It is a song. The melody is haunting and deep. It speaks of voyages across the void. It speaks of captains who refuse to yield. The metal grows warmer. A beam of light shoots from the jagged edge. It points directly north. You look in that direction. There is nothing there but jagged peaks. Yet the shard insists. It tugs at your hand like a compass. You trust your gut. You always have. It is why you are the best salvage operator in the sector. Also because you are the only one crazy enough to be here. You start walking north. The journey takes hours. The twin moons rise above the peaks. Their light turns the landscape into a dream. You reach the base of a cliff. The shard's light intensifies. It illuminates a hidden seam in the rock. You press your hand against the stone. The rock melts away like holographic mist. A corridor is revealed. You step inside. The air here is stale but breathable. Lights flicker on as you pass. They are amber and soft. You recognize the architecture. This is human design, but it is old. Older than the Federation. Older than the first colony wars. You enter a vast circular room. Walls are lined with crystal cylinders. This is a Star Sciences archive. You have heard rumors of these places. They were built before the Great Silence. You approach a console. It recognizes your biosignature immediately. A holographic interface springs to life. Dust motes dance in the projection. You scroll through the index. It is overwhelming. There are schematics for engines that fold space. There are medical formulas that cure decay. Each page burns with hope for humanity's future. You realize what this is. It is an insurance policy. Our ancestors left this for us. They knew a dark age was coming. They wanted to make sure we could rebuild. You feel a lump in your throat. They believed in us. Even across the gap of time, they knew we would survive. You download the data to your suit drive. It is heavy with potential. This could change everything for the Outer Rim. No more begging for scraps from the core worlds. We can build our own destiny. A chime echoes through the chamber. It is deep and resonant. It sounds like a church bell made of gravity. You freeze. The sound comes from everywhere at once. A voice follows the chime. It is not a machine voice. It sounds like many voices speaking in unison. Traveler, you have awakened the memory. You look around for the source. There are no speakers. The voice vibrates in your bones. These are the Elder Ones, or what is left of them. We have waited for a successor. You straighten your back. You are just a salvager. But right now, you represent the species. You decide to act like it. I am listening, you say. The void approaches. The voice warns. Unity is the only shield. The room darkens. The hologram changes. It shows a map of the galaxy. A red stain is spreading from the outer edge. They consume the light, the voice says. You must be the torch. It is a heavy request. You just wanted to find some scrap metal to sell. Maybe buy a sandwich that does not taste like paste. Now you have a quest. Typical Monday. What must I do, you ask? Gather the fleets, the voice commands. The steel heart must beat again. The connection fades. The lights return to normal. But the atmosphere has changed. You are not alone anymore. You have a mission. You exit the archive. The night sky looks different now. You scan the stars. You are looking for the red stain. And you see it. It is faint. A rift of shadows tearing the night sky. It looks like a wound in the fabric of space. It is exactly where the map showed. Dark silhouettes drift from the tear. They are massive. They block out the stars behind them. They move with unnatural grace. You do not need a scanner to know they are hostile. They feel wrong, like oil on water. You run back to your transport. The dust kicks up around you. It swirls in agitation. You fire up the engines. The thrusters roar to life. You launch toward the atmosphere. You need to warn the station. You need to warn everyone. You break orbit. The view from space is terrifying. The rift is wider than a planet. The shadow ships are advancing. But you are not the only one moving. Your comms panel lights up. Signals are bouncing all over the system. Other scavengers are waking up. Identify yourself. A gruff voice demands. It is Captain Niller. He runs a mining barge 3 sectors over. It is me, you reply. Look at Sector 4. There is a long pause. Mother of Earth, Miller whispers. What is that? Trouble, you say. Big trouble. I am picking up energy signatures, Miller says. Massive ones, rising from the planetary surface. You look back at the planet you just left. The ground is cracking open. But it is not a disaster. It is a launch. Huge shapes are emerging from the dust. They are not rocks. They are ships, ancient warships of the Steel Heart Armada. Their hulls pulse with a steady and fierce rhythm. They were buried there, waiting for the signal. The archive must have activated them. They are beautiful. Angular armor plates shine in the starlight. Are those yours? Miller asks. I think they are ours, you say. The lead ship hails you. The channel is clear and crisp. Command verified, the ship says. Awaiting orders. You take a breath. You are a salvager. You fix broken things. Well, the galaxy is about to break. Time to fix it. Form up, you say. Defensive perimeter. The ships move instantly. It is precision like you have never seen. They lock into a formation around the planet. It is a wall of steel, but you need more than just ships. You need allies. You open the Covenant of Light frequency. It is an old emergency channel. Most people think it is a myth. You broadcast the codes from the archive. You recite the words of the Covenant. It binds light to hope. It shines brighter when you trust its promise. This is a call to all free worlds, you say. The shadow is here. The old oath is invoked. Static hisses. Then a clear tone cuts through. This is the Free Systems Alliance, a voice replies. We hear you, we remember. This is the Orion Guard, another voice adds. We are en route. Merchant Guild here, a third voice chimes in. We have ships, not warships, but we can ram stuff if we have to. You smile. That is the spirit. Get here fast, you say. We have a party to crash. You direct your new fleet toward the rift. The drive toward the broken axis takes time. It is a region of unstable gravity at the galaxy's edge. The physics are wrong there. The shadow ships are gathering near the anomaly. You can see the fracture in space. It sings of a universe reborn. But reborn into what? Darkness? You do not plan to find out. Your sensors pick up the enemy count. It is high. 50 capital ships. Hundreds of drones. They outnumber us, Miller says. He sounds worried. Only if you count numbers, you say. I count spirit. That is cheesy, Miller says. But I like it. You approach the broken axis. The gravity waves buffet your ship. The steel heart vessels are steady. Their engines compensate for the distortion. You hear distant echoes of home. It is not on the comms. It is in your head. The dust is still with you. It is telepathic. You hear Earth's forgotten songs. A piano melody. A guitar riff. The sound of rain on pavement. They stir memories of home within you, even if you have never been to Earth. It is in your DNA. The memory of blue skies and green grass. It fuels your anger. These shadows want to erase that. They want to erase us. You grip the controls. We are approaching the forge, your nav computer states. The forge of resolve is not a place. It is a moment. It is the point where fear burns away. You enter the engagement zone. The enemy opens fire. Beams of dark energy slice through the void. They hit your shields. The impact rattles your teeth. Hold formation. You yell. The steel heart ships return fire. Their weapons are bright and golden. They fire solid projectiles accelerated to light speed. The impact is devastating. An enemy cruiser shatters. Silent explosions blossom like flowers, but more shadows pour from the rift. We are taking heavy fire, the Merchant Guild reports. My shields are basically paper. Pull back, you order. Steel heart ships to the front. You enter the forge where resolve is melted. The fire shapes courage into bright armor. You dive your ship between two enemy destroyers. You spin and fire your thrusters. It is a reckless move, but it draws their fire. It gives the Alliance ships time to regroup. Crazy Human, an Orion pilot laughs. Do it again. You watch a nova whisper across the void. It is a star dying nearby. Its light carries a secret for the brave. The shockwave is coming. Ride the wave, you shout. Use the nova. Most pilots would run. Humans surf. You turn your ships toward the shockwave. The enemy sensors are blinded by the radiation. 3, you count. 2, 1. The wave hits. Your shields flare, but you ride the momentum. You shoot out of the interference like a bullet. You appear right behind the enemy command ship. It is massive. A floating cathedral of obsidian. Unity's dawn is here, you whisper. You rally the scattered fleets under a single banner. Every ship focuses fire on the command vessel. Lasers, missiles, railguns, even mining lasers. Pour it on, Miller screams. The enemy shields buckle. They were not expecting this cohesion. They thought we were scattered dust. They forgot what dust can do. Dust creates worlds. Dust creates stars. The command ship's hull cracks. Purple light bleeds out. The rift begins to destabilize. The shadows waver. You watch dust rise as triumph spreads. The galaxy sings of human tenacity. The enemy fleet loses coordination. They are panicking. Push them back, you order. Into the rift. The Steel Heart Armada advances. They are unstoppable. They bulldoze the shadow ships back toward the tear. The Merchant Guild ships are ramming stragglers. Get off my lawn, a merchant captain yells. The rift collapses. It implodes with a flash of silence. The shadow ships are gone, crushed or retreated. The void is quiet again. Debris floats in the starlight. We did it, Miller says. He sounds stunned. We actually did it. You lean back in your chair. You are exhausted. You are shaking, but you are alive. Damage report, you ask. Minimal, the AI replies. We lost 3 drones and the coffee machine. A tragedy, you say, but a worthy sacrifice. You carve your name into Starborn Chronicles. Not literally. But the data logs will remember this. Future travelers will hear your story. They will know that when the darkness came, we did not run. We stood our ground. We remembered who we were. The fleet holds position. Celebrations break out on the open channels. You hear laughter. You hear music. You look down at the console. The shard of metal is still there. It is dim now. Its job is done. You realize the dust has become a living memory. Its pulse beats in every human heart. We are made of star stuff. We are made of grit. Course plotted for home, your nav computer says. Engage, you say. The engines hum. The stars streak by. You close your eyes. You can still hear the dust whispering. It says thank you. It says watch out. It says next time, bring more ammo. You smile. You are human. You always bring more ammo. End of log.